Alrighty. Hey, CWCC community. Hope you're having a great Monday. I am here with Gloria Neal, who is the Director of Public Affairs over in the Mayor's office, and we're just here for Women Thrive Monday. We're just having a great conversation about, what's going on in the world right now and how Gloria has used that in her life to kind of keep pushing forward, and she's got some great nuggets of advice for you. So we're going to start with hearing what her personal mantra is. And then we're going to kick right into kind of where the world is right now. So, Glo, I'm going to pass it over to you.
There are so many ways I can go, depending on the day you think about, okay, what's your personal mantra? Today, on this day, I wake up and I always try to look in the mirror and say, okay, what is it going to be today? It's not going to be negative. It's going to be positive. That is a real effort. And it is simple. You are enough. I mean, truly enough. Not, and I put on some powder, or you are enough as is. Move forward and move forward in a very positive and deliberate way. And so those things, or that stinking thinking of where you start downing yourself and doubting yourself, no room for that. Let's go. Let's go.
I love that. That's awesome. And that it's so true. You are enough. And that's what I think the world needs to hear right now.
Yes.
Speaking of that, in terms of the world and the challenges that we face, what advice do you have moving forward? How do we grow from here?
Well, I think just there are so many teachable moments, whether you're talking about the protests and the rioting or the demonstrations. I absolutely support anybody's free speech to demonstrate, because that's how change is effected. But with anything, you have to have a strategy. You have to be strategic in your approach. And protesting does not mean looting. It does not mean violence. While I understand the anger and the frustration, you have to be strategic in saying what is going to help move this needle. And it's not just the individuals that are out there. It is law enforcement. It is everybody who lives in the community. There is a responsibility. So the days where you say, oh my God, and clutch your pearls and you turn your head, that's over. Somebody has got to do what they don't want to do. So whether you're hearing, you know what, I'm too busy, we're past that point. Everybody is not that busy. Mm-hmm. Everybody can't do something big and grandiose, but each and every person can do something. And so I believe there's a role for everyone in this. I even posted some of this on my Facebook page, because I believe that it'd be great to live in a world where all we had to do was be upbeat and kind and warm. And for most of the people in my inner circle, that is very true. But you have a lot of people who are challenged. And so you and me and those who know better have to rise above it, be involved, hear some very difficult truths, and say some very difficult truth. Like we were just talking about, people say, oh, I don't see color. And you do see color. There's nothing wrong with you seeing color. It's what you do about what you see is what matters. That's what matters. And so it's not okay for a police officer to choke the life out of a Black man while he is kneeling there with his hands in his pockets like he's chewing a piece of gum walking down the street. That's not okay. To not say anything kills a piece of humanity every single time a Black man is killed unjustifiably. Not that killing is the answer, but there was no gun. He was in handcuffs. He was defenseless, calling for his mama. That is powerful. So yeah, there's a lot that needs healing. The positive advice that I would say would be, there is still hope. The hope is in you and me and everybody who says, okay, but I can still rise above that and affect change. That's the only thing that's going to get us there.
I love that. You were just sharing with me a story from your childhood of what happened when MLK was shot. I'd love for you to share that with our members.
It goes back to people saying, my God, I'm too busy. I can't do this. I've got kids, my husband, my job. My mother was bumping me on her knee. I was a little itty bitty baby the day Martin Luther King got shot. And she tells me, and had told me this story many, many times before she passed. And she was sitting in front of the TV, she said, on the coffee table. And she said, what can I do? And I wanna, but I got these kids and I can't, and these 3 mouths to feed. And, even though my father was in the military, it was powerful to see her recognize MLK's birthday and how long coming that had been. And so on many days, I reflect on, I wonder what my mama would say about today. I wonder what she would say about COVID. I wonder what she would say about Freddie Gray. I wonder what she would say about George Floyd. I wonder what she would say, fill in the blank for the next Black person who is killed or maimed through no fault of their own. And part of me, because she grew up in a different time, because my mother was very raw, because she saw the hangs of people. She saw siblings and townsfolk who were killed for nothing more than an accusation from Opelika, Alabama. All of those things made her who she was, and that was passed on to always rise above it, but don't give anybody an opportunity to bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think about that often because it shapes who I am, and that's why my disposition is very positive, like the glass half full. Even when tough times come, you rise above it because it will pass, but you do get tired.
Mm-hmm.
You get tired.
Yep.
So you need other people to step in who you can't turn away. You can't say, this isn't my responsibility. Right now, it's everybody's responsibility, and you're going forward because history is not going to be kind to any of us when it shows what we allowed to happen.
Yep. Exactly. That's what it's everyone's fight. That's the big push I've seen going, that it is no longer a black and white fight. It is no longer a police and black fight. It is everyone is impacted by this in some way, whether you have kids, whether your kids have seen this video. I mean, COVID is going on and we're all impacted by that, and we all got around and surrounded each other in that. We can surround each other in this.
That's exactly right.
Well, Gloria, I can't thank you enough for being on here with me today. You are awesome. We are so blessed to have you in our lives. And I hope everyone got some kind of motivation out of this today. I know I did. And we will see you all soon. Thanks, Glo.
Yes. Bye, sweetie.